Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Chats with Children. I hope you're safe and well. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Abzena's Jeffrey Mocny, who is the VP of Regulatory Strategy at Abzena. And today, we're going to learn more about Abzena's new cell lines, which they actually announced last week. And so, we're going to learn more about those cell lines, what they are, why they were launched in the first place, what makes them different, but also I'm seeing and Jeff is actually presenting next week at the Festival of Biologics, which is in Basel, and that runs from September the 30th to October the 2nd. So again, we'll learn a bit more about what Abzena are doing there and Jeff's talk there as well. So Jeff, first of all, it's lovely to meet you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Rizwan. It's a pleasure to be here and have the opportunity to talk about some of the great work that Abzena has been involved with and where we're going with our company's future.
That's
So thank you
fantastic.
very much for having us.
Well, I appreciate taking the time to talk to me, actually, Jeff. Now, first question I'm going to ask you, which is a pretty obvious one, but for people not familiar with who Abzena are, who are Abzena? And actually, maybe you can give viewers a quick overview of your role within Abzena as well.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to. Let me first off start by saying Abzena is a leading end-to-end bioconjugate ADC and complex biologics CDMO and CRO. From discovery through commercial launch, we support our customers with fully integrated programs or individual services that are designed to de-risk, streamline the development of new treatments for patients in need, right? We have the ability to tailor strategy and customer experience to each one of the programs and projects that we work with our clients with. We develop an innovative solutions for our clients that enable biotech and pharma companies to really realize the full potential of their molecule and move medicines forward faster. We
Right.
have research and development facilities and GMP facilities across the world, including in San Diego, California, Bristol, PA, and in Cambridge, UK. Now, myself, as you mentioned, I'm Jeff Mocny. I'm the Vice President of Regulatory Strategy here at Abzena. And I'd like to say, my life's work focus is on the driving of acceleration of how our industry develops medicines. I work with our clients to ground our work in purpose-driven activities to help them be successful. I'd like to leverage regulatory guidance and requirements and sound scientific approaches in a phase-appropriate de-risk risk reduction type of mindset to accomplish their programs. I align those goals with their timelines and the objectives that their organizations are ultimately trying to reach. In my thinking, to focus and to clarify leads to this acceleration. So it's exciting to me to think that I touch nearly every program that comes through Abzena in some shape or form, whether it be from the initial scoping and the planning through kickoff and manufacturing, and ultimately to the regulatory filing activities. It's great to have the chance to open these doors for our clients and work very closely with their team, really driving at quality, operations, project management, and really investing in their work. So it's a tremendous honor to work at Abzena, and it's a wonderful place to be.
That's really interesting. Can I ask you one question then? Just about regulatory environment, if you like, as it
Mhm.
stands now. Obviously, we've had a change of government in the USA, lots of changes at the FDA. How is the climate now in terms of regulatory? How is the regulatory environment for you as a CDMO and CRO in terms of helping your customers meet what their needs are in terms of regulatory requirements?
Well, first and foremost, it's important to recognize that the FDA provides guidance, right? There are federal laws here, of course, in the U.S. that are codified in 21 CFR that describe these are the must-haves, right? The FDA, of course, interprets those laws in a way that are in alliance with best practice, right? And with the idea that the FDA has two really uh, focus or foci out there, right? One, of course, is to regulate the pharmaceutical industry and biologics industry. And the second is to be a patient's ombudsman, right? To act on the best benefit for patients in the US that are receiving medicines that are approved here. The two go hand in hand, like a hand in glove. And so when we think about that in our industry, what's really exciting is that the FDA for the last several years has been driving at an innovative acceleration is the normal standard of developing pharmaceuticals. COVID really opened my eyes in terms of thinking about this is how drugs should hit market. What are the criticalities we need to drive at? Get therapies in the hands of practitioners quickly and put them to use in the public. And it sounds a little bit of Florence Nightingale syndrome-ish, but that's what I think folks in my role, as well as all the folks at Abzena that are bench scientists up to the manufacturing floor, that's what they've committed themselves to. So we've all kind of embraced that. And I think it's an encouraging period in time to see how our FDA here in the US changes with the times. There have been a bunch of novel guidances that have come out, the use of AI, the use of movement towards looking at structured data submissions to take away bias and look at how the data all fits and looking at things more holistically. I think this is an exciting time. And I'm really excited to say that, boy, I'm lucky that this aligns with what I want to do with my life. As I think of this, because it's really interesting how we've evolved, and it's something. But politics aside, the industry is moving in that direction, and I feel like the FDA is doing their job to be able to help corporations, companies, and manufacturers, developers, etc., realize those goals. So
Right.
it's a wonderful thing. Change is inevitable, and we'll continue to evolve.
Right, brilliant. Now let's talk about your new cell lines, because last week you guys announced some new cell
Yeah,
lines into the marketplace. So for viewers who are not aware of what you launched, perhaps you could give viewers an overview of the cell lines themselves that you launched and why you launched them.
sure. So I'd like to start by saying, we've expanded our solutions toolbox here, which is our Abselect Pro cell line development platform, with the launch of these two next generation glutamine synthase or GS knockout CHO-K1 expression systems, including one of which is a double knockout. It's a GS knockout and a FUT8 knockout, which we are really gearing towards our ADCC plus platform for an afucosylated protein system. Now, the new GS knockout cell lines are named Abselect Pro KO and Abselect Pro KO Plus. And we believe that they'll further enhance the speed, scalability, flexibility for all of our customers. The GS knockout nature of the cell line can offer high titers and lower production times through rapid doubling times, right? Coupled with our proteomic 2G unique vector that we utilize, this optimizes transfection and productivity rates are increased, right? To offer our clients a high quality biologic material that can satisfy a wide range of therapeutic modalities and really provide really great cell line stability. Now, interestingly, one of the things I really like about one of the new cell lines, the FUT8 knockout system, it can offer improved ADCC activity. And it may provide an opportunity to our clients to optimize glycan engineering applications of the expressed proteins, right? Which, when you think about it from a regulatory perspective, this might be a really ideal candidate solution for vaccine development applications, although it's not limited to them. So this really opens the door, I feel like, for our partners and our clients to have more options in the toolbox, to have the best chance of success, to give them a molecule, one, with very high quality, two, is well characterized and controlled, which is real critical in the regulatory environment, and thirdly, something that has the desired product profile that will accomplish the goals of the therapy itself, right? So how we manufacture this material and the way it looks from a physical chemical perspective will influence how it works in the host. And so this gives us a little bit more optionality, better control, quicker production times, all the things that make a medicine great. So that's what we're really proud of, having this solution for our clients now.
Fantastic. And I know it was only announced officially, I think, last week, but what's been the feedback from the market to the new cell lines?
Well, we just announced last week, so we're actively going out there looking for folks to, and engaging with folks to have those folks utilize these new cell lines. In our hands, from the experimental data that we have, of course, we did our own internal experimentation, before we
Sure.
decided to offer this up. We're really encouraged by what it might offer. And that's one of the messages that we're giving to folks that we interact with, is that these are new solutions that weren't available to you before, or in a format that is useful for your drug development program. So, the feedback we've received so far from the folks we've encountered, they're excited about it, because again, it offers more options with novel capabilities that'll really open the door for their programs. So
Very
I'm
good.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's a great offering.
Well, that segues nicely to my next question, actually, because as I mentioned at the start, you and Abzena are at the Festival of Biologics next week in Basel, and
Mhm.
you actually have a talk next
I
week
do.
at Festival of Biologics. So, what is the talk about, and why should people put in their diary if they're attending that they should be sitting into your talk next week?
Sure. Sure. So, our talk is on day 3 of the conference at 12 noon, and it's in the antibody and biosimilar manufacturing track. The title of the talk is Flexible Next Generation Cell Line Platform that Improve the Chances of Clinical Success, which will provide information around our new cell line development offering
Right.
options and some information around how we approach the analytical characterization of those cell lines to meet regulator expectations and provide scientific proof of the quality of these express constructs with these systems. If you're looking for robust cell line development program solutions that can translate immediately to your early and late phase clinical programs, we'll show you some of the solutions that we can provide, and the depth of analytical data you can expect. Now, being involved with regulatory strategy, my heart is, near and dear to my heart, is thinking about what regulators have historically been driving at, right? What is it that they're looking at when they evaluate cell line development programs? And of course, I think it goes without saying, they were looking at one, genetic integrity, right? Is the construct what you say it is? How well have you characterized it? And how do you know this is what you're really dealing with? The second aspect is what does it look like? What does the construct put out? What does it express? And then thirdly, how well can you control that? And that includes that generational stability. With time, will you consistently develop product with this cell line you've engineered that will translate into the manufacturing environment and you've got control over it? So, that's what our talk is going to focus on, some of those analytical aspects, our experience in that, and how these novel solutions can provide that de-risked optionality for your program to move forward.
Brilliant. Well, viewers, if you are at Festival of Biologics next week, I'll put the link above this video so you can register for Jeff's talk next week. Now, as well as that, though, I've got 3 posters, I understand, at the
We
event.
do. Yeah, we do. And I'd be remiss to say, they not only speak about, some of the cell line activities we do, but they also talk about the broader capabilities and activities going on at Abzena, other solutions that our clients can take advantage of. And there are 3 posters that I'm really proud of our colleagues for presenting. The first one is called A Toolbox for Purifying Bispecific Antibodies, which is, there's some really great work that they're going to present in that one. The second is called An In Vitro Assessment of FC Functional Activity, a broad range of solutions for diverse assay needs. And then our third poster that's going to be presented is In Vitro Bioassays to Model Complex Cellular Environments for Better Lead Selection. So those 3 posters are going to be real interesting talks that are going to be presented by some really capable and intelligent scientists. So if you have the chance to go see it, please stop by there as well as at our booth. And we're happy to talk to you guys, folks out there, about some of the solutions we offer.
That's brilliant, Jeff. And I have to say congratulations on keeping those poster titles concise, because normally they can go on for about 5 minutes just reading out a poster title, I have to say. So that was very good. So that's brilliant. Now I've got one final question for you before you
Sure.
go. Um, Abzena, as you say, are a leading CDMO and CRO, and you do a lot of great stuff but there are other companies out there. So why should people work with Abzena and not some of the other uh, CDMOs, etc. out there?
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk about this. And I think every one of us, when we think about this question, we all have slightly different thoughts around this, but I believe we're all grounded and centered on the same thinking. I really would like folks out there that are interested in drug development and partnering with us to have an appreciation of our depth of experience, the expertise, the flexibility in how we provide service, and our commitment to our client success. We work with client teams from the very beginning of the development process, starting in Cambridge, and biologic and conjugate molecule DS manufacturing in San Diego, as well as our Bristol site. We work with partners for finish fill activities to provide a cross-site seamless full experience service offering from early clinical through their commercialization journey. Our true client-centric service-minded mentality is focused on quality results. I personally am very proud of our scientific experience, the regulatory guidance we can provide, and our client success track records. And that includes across multiple therapeutic modalities, right? And our manufacturing and our analytical capabilities, in my opinion, are top notch. We offer a number of solutions to clients. And as evidence of our success, I'm proud to say we've got an 85% client return rate. And I think that differentiates us from the field. Folks that have worked with us in the past, they keep coming back to us. And I think that the way we work, the way we act as a true partner with our clients really keeps them coming back. I'm really proud to say a lot of the clients that I work with, and I know them quite well and have very casual, cordial relationships with them. And that's, I feel like, an evidence of trust as well as high quality and competence in work. So, I'm really proud of that. We're thought leaders and we're partners moving medicines forward together. So, I'd like to invite everybody to stop by at our booth to chat. We're all pleased to meet you and we're looking forward to those kinds of conversations with folks out there.
Brilliant, Jeff. Well, look, thank you for taking time to talk. So there you go, viewers. If you're in Basel next week for Festival of Biologics, come and talk to Jeff and the rest of the team from Abzena. Check out Jeff's talk. Look at their posters. If you can't do that, you can also meet them at many, many other events across North America and Europe, including, of course, CPHI Frankfurt, which is coming up in October, and many other shows as well. But also, you can go to their website, follow them on LinkedIn. And actually, if you've got any comments for Jeff, based on what he said about the cell lines, put them in the comments below. I'm sure we'll be happy to see your comments in terms of what he's talking about in terms of cell lines. And I will put a link to the press release, actually, to the cell line launch in the comments below as well, so you can see the press release in more detail about what was launched. So Jeff, it's been lovely to meet you. Hopefully I'll see you in person next week in Basel. I'll certainly be there on day one, and we can catch up then. But viewers, hopefully if you're in Basel, I'll see you there next week as well. If not, I'll see you at a show hopefully in the not too distant future. So until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye bye.